Welcome to the Road Safety Authority's driving test videos. This video will give you an introduction to initial basic training for learner motorcyclists. Young, inexperienced motorcyclists are more likely to be killed or seriously injured in a crash than other road users. That's why the Road Safety Authority has introduced new measures to help learner motorcyclists to become safe and confident road users. One of these measures is initial basic training, known as IBT, which will help you, the learner rider, to master the basic motorcycling skills and improve your knowledge of road safety before you ride unsupervised. If you received your first motorcycle learner permit on or after the 6th of December 2010, you must undertake at least 16 hours of initial basic training with an approved IBT instructor before you can take your motorcycle on the road unsupervised. You can find a list of approved IBT instructors on rsa.ie. It's important to do some preparation before you take your IBT lessons, so talk to your IBT instructor and ask their advice on how best to prepare for the course. You should also familiarise yourself with relevant booklets such as the Rules of the Road, This Is Your Bike Essential Skills, which is the official motorcycling manual, as well as the RSA information booklet on IBT. The RSA has also produced a helpful manual called Learning to Ride a Motorcycle, which is available in bookstores. Before you attend your first training session, make sure you have everything you need. Your instructor will check your learner permit, insurance, and the condition of your personal protective equipment. He or she will also make sure that you are wearing a yellow fluorescent tabard with L plates on the back and front. At your first session, your instructor will give you a personal logbook. Your instructor will sign your logbook once you have completed a module, so it's important that you keep it safe and take it along to each training session. The IBT course covers 4 separate modules. There is also a progression module to aid your progress to higher categories of license. You will need at least 11 hours to complete Module 5 as a progression module. Once you are at least 24 years of age, you may opt for the new direct access route to Category A. In this case, you will need to complete Modules 1, 3 and 5 and will need at least 18 hours to complete your IBT training before sitting the practical driving test. Direct access to the A2 category of motorcycle license also requires Modules 1, 3 and 5 to be completed over a minimum of 18 hours before sitting the practical driving test. Check with your IBT trainer about the engine cc, motorcycle weight and/or power output restrictions that may apply to the motorcycle being used for either your training or practical driving test. Each module mixes theory and practice. To make it more varied and interesting, the modules are delivered in a classroom, training site or yard, or on a public road under the supervision of your instructor. Module 1 has 6 objectives, and you will need at least 3 hours to achieve them. The objectives cover personal protective equipment known as PPE, introduction to motorcycle controls, technical checks, placing the motorcycle on and off the stand, walking alongside the motorcycle, and how to start and stop the engine, including precautions for mounting and dismounting. Module 2 has 10 objectives, and you will need at least 5 hours to achieve them. The objectives cover moving off and stopping, including on-site riding, use of brakes, use of gears, slow riding exercise, figure of 8 exercise, U-turn exercise, slalom exercise, rear observation and mirror work, turning left and right, and emergency adjustment of speed, the emergency stop. Module 3 has 10 objectives, and you will need at least 2 hours to achieve them. They cover legal requirements, rules of the road, being seen, road surfaces, road and lane position, rear observations and mirror work, speed, anticipation and reaction, including dealing with emergency service vehicles, weather conditions, including transport options and route planning, and fatigue. Module 4 has 8 objectives, and you will need at least 6 hours to achieve them. They cover gradients, junctions, traffic lights, roundabouts, safe distance, anticipation and reaction, including dealing with emergency service vehicles, pedestrian and rail crossings where possible, and bends. If you have already completed IBT on an automatic type motorcycle, and you now wish to ride a manual type, you must undergo a progression module, also known as Module 5, which includes some new topics and some topics from Modules 2 and 4 of the syllabus. There is no need to repeat modules 1 and 3 again. You must also do the module 5 if you wish to progress to a higher category of motorcycle. For example, from AM or A1 to A2 or A. Talk to your IBT instructor about your options for progression to the higher categories of motorcycle license, or visit rsa.ie for more details. When you have successfully completed the course, you will get an IBT certificate. Keep this with your learner permit for the motorcycle you are riding, as you may be required to produce them for inspection if a Garda requests them. The licensing authorities may also need it when you are progressing to a higher category. Once you have your IBT certificate, you'll be able to ride on a public road without being supervised by an IBT instructor. This doesn't mean that you are finished learning. It just allows you to continue learning. Be guided by your instructor on what other training you might need to do to prepare for your motorcycle test. Remember that motorcycle riding can be fun, and your IBT training will help you to have many years of safe and enjoyable biking. For more information on initial basic training and the motorcycle test, visit rsa.ie.